Peace, this is Star with the Star Blooms. Y'all, I have tried to say this message a couple of times, and I'm trying not to get discouraged. Okay, 717. It's a little difficult for me because the way that I feel it in me is just raw, but it makes me extremely vulnerable. But I feel like it's important for me to be vulnerable because it allows us to know how important it is for us to share. A while back, um, what do you call it? Viewer discretion advised. I'm not a specialist or a professional giving out professional advice on an expertise that I have studied professionally. I am someone who has went to the school of life, okay, and even though I have a lot of different accolades, what I'm speaking on personally is from my own personal experience, okay? I wanted to share that because I feel like it's important. Once again, this is Start with the Star Blooms. It is so vital, it's so important for us to share what we've gone through because we get to know that we have a right to not be shamed or feel guilt about what has happened to us, especially the things that are out of our hands. One of the reasons why I've been so gun ho on wanting to sit with my inner child, learn my inner child, and start to heal the huge space that I wasn't aware that equated to what it actually weighs up to was because of the essay that I went through as a child, because of the molestation, the rape that I encountered as a child, right? And getting on a social platform and saying, hey, this happened to me and it wasn't right and it wasn't my fault and it wasn't something that I was aware that I had been carrying all of this time. So I didn't really have, the ability to go through the proper channels that should have been, and I'm pretty sure they maybe were available to me if I was in a space of awareness that this was a space that was open to me. Um, Even afterwards, like feeling like the need to say what didn't happen because of whatever lay dormant and allowing things to waken up. We don't know. Like I said the other day, we don't know what we don't know until we know. All right. A lot of people, they be feeling like we feel shame. You feel bad because you experience something and you feel like it makes you be something because of what you went through. And in reality, it's not necessarily just to make you a good or a bad person because of what you've experienced. It's an experience. You know, a lot of the times we be just the right key to bring down huge, huge monstrosities, you know. And my circumstance was to rectify a bloodline. And a lot of 333. Thank you, Spirit. I told y'all, like, Spirit be Spirit. Now you're okay. When you show up, you allow yourself to be vulnerable. You have the opportunity to see the truth and the light, even when you just sitting in retrospect. Sometimes messages be so big when we channel them, depending on how you are with your channel. You have to walk through this space to be able to be in this space. I had to purge for me to be able to hold the truth of what it is and where I'm at. For me to be able to be at the rate of saying, okay, I walked out of this for me to be in this space. Yes, I'm a survivor, but I'm also in a rate to where I could also say that I'm not victim. And it hurts. A lot of us get into the point to where we feel like we have to take on this cape mentality of being the bigger person. A lot of us have gotten to the rate to where we're so tired. You go through so many things in life, unaware of things that lay dormant. You carry these things. You become weighed down by these circumstances, by these events that have occurred with you because we have societal norms, breakdowns and cultural things with certain you know, groups of people. We don't even have things sometimes in place to position us at a rate to where we know how to be able to actually see ourselves fully and wholly, whether it be physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. If you went through something, a lot of the times, y'all, when you've been taken advantage of by adults at a young age, you are not the one who's weak in this circumstance, regardless of how much will or how much ability you had to stop what occurred. You're not the one who needs to be villainized. And it don't matter what nobody say. People gonna say whatever they want to say. A lot of the times, y'all, we be fearful of sharing what it is that we've experienced to allow more people to come forward. And I'm going to tell you why it's important that you come forward. Like I said, because of what tower must fall. A lot of the times, y'all, we was fed into systems to be able to be sacrificed for a whole group of people unaware of this events, because sometimes they happen in the midst of spaces that are supposed to be cocoons. Sometimes they happen in churches, y'all. Sometimes they happen in schools. They happen in jobs, families, okay? And saying these things, they don't feel good. I could feel y'all so heavy. Having to sit on a platform and be in a race, especially men, being in a situation to where you have people who are still, because sometimes it happens and it occurs where people are still out here and you've never seen them had to deal with what you feel like is a reasonable repercussion of their actions in these events. What are you supposed to do? How is what I'm telling you, okay, heal myself? But then what do I do about this thought process? A lot of the times, y'all, it be what we take and what we carry, what we transmuted, that allots us the ability to alchemize, okay? To say, yo, hey, listen, when this happened to me and my family, it made me look at family very, very, very differently. So I started moving through life at a rate very, 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 very differently than what a lot of people may move through life through. And it affected me. It affected my connections. It affected how I was. It affected the things that I desired. It affected things that I went after. It affected the dreams that I had. And now I'm in this space to where I'm deciding and I'm choosing, I'm healing and I'm cultivating. I'm going back and I'm cocooning. I'm overseeing. I'm speaking for. I'm affirming over that version of myself. And now I get to stand in power and say to other people, reveal what occurred. Because sometimes people are still high and mighty. Sometimes people are still standing up in a situation and their tower hasn't occurred and hasn't fallen just because you haven't arrived to the place where you said, I'll be silent no more. Your voice, it alchemizes, it cleanses energies. And even if you are at a rate to where you recognize and you've woken up to the life that you've conditioned and you've participated in, and you say that you want to know how to go forward and move forward yet, do not stop in the space where you say, well, I don't see how it could happen. Y'all, I didn't see any of anything that I've been through in the last, since 2016. Okay, I did not and I could not have perceived the things that have occurred within me, around me in my life. I could not have foreseen any of these things. Yet they did and they will and they continue to. Because I've allowed myself, one, to represent the space of no fear, to represent the space of truth, to represent the space of faith, okay? Knowing that I'm going to get proof. Spirit is in the midst of giving proof to its seeds, proof to its children, proof amongst the gods to be able to allow us to be at a rate to where we're more than convinced. I love y'all. Do not